Hi everybody, my name is Megan Beaker. This is my introduction video for AEP 855 Educational Leadership. A little bit about me. I am married to my best friend. I've been married to my best friend now for 4.5 years. Together we have a 9-year-old Boston Terrier named Marvin. My hobbies include reading, furniture restoration, being physically active, and lifelong learning. So, a little bit about my professional background. I am currently smack dab in the middle of my 7th year of teaching. I have a bachelor's of science in elementary education with an endorsement for 6 through 12 English language arts. I taught 6th grade my first year of teaching. I enjoyed it, but I had an opportunity to move up, so I took the endorsement test, and I currently teach 7th and 8th grade English as well as English 1. Along with teaching, I also sponsor 3 clubs at the junior high and high school, and I am the high school cheer coach. So as you can see above there, that is a picture together from state basketball. That experience was actually cut short last year due to COVID-19 reaching the states and the crisis pandemic kind of reaching its peak of unknown. So shortly after that, we were sent home early. The tournament was canceled, and then school was strictly changed to online for Kansas. So, which is a great segue into the changes that I've seen this year. A little bit strange probably for most, but there weren't very many restrictions put in place by my school and by my district. The one thing that's really different is that students had the opportunity to choose between virtual learning and in-person learning. So I currently have 7 or 8 students who are strictly online learners, and then as students become quarantined and things like that, they have the opportunity, if they have internet available, to learn online so they don't really miss class. So one thing that I've struggled with a lot this year is learning how to manage both a virtual classroom as well as an in-person classroom, and then kind of just waiting on assignments to return, issues with technology, things that go along with new ways of learning. So as I read through Moore's article, I was really excited to see that Moore discussed mindsets for the school leader. So the 3 mindsets he discussed were: all students have the ability to learn and grow, collaboration among staff members is key, and choose happiness and optimism every chance that you get. I was excited because I do talk a lot in my classroom about growth and fixed mindsets. Honestly, students could probably step in every once in a while and say, whoa, fix your growth mindset, or fix your fixed mindset, or whoa, great growth mindset. So I love that Moore wanted to talk a little bit about Dweck's ideas on mindsets. One particular, I guess, excerpt that stood out to me was: school leaders must stop allowing teachers to work in isolation. I think that is so true, especially after everything that we went through last quarter. I think that elementary teachers, being on both sides, I think elementary teachers not only have the ability to collaborate a little bit more as their time is set up together, but also I do think that they are a little bit better at collaboration with one another. I think that secondary teachers are used to being on their own island, and so I think that isolation is kind of a comfort for them. And then school culture starts with the building leader. If a building leader is well respected and happy and chooses happiness, then I do believe that students will choose happiness as well. A little bit about Moore's dispositions. The 5 dispositions that he listed were confidence, risk taker, and decisive, sense of humor, empathetically assertive, and learner. I do agree with all these dispositions. I do think that successful school leaders do need a great sense of humor. My dad was a building leader and a school leader for, I believe it was 40 years. And so one thing that he was able to do that really shocked me was his sense of humor and the way that he could handle situations that would normally make people very angry, or find a way to diffuse situations when they were angry. And then also being a lifelong learner. Obviously, leaders build leaders. So I think that being a good leader means that you're just not in it for yourself. You're in it to make people around you better, to be the best people that they can be. So Moore's practices: Focus and prioritizing, examining feedback as well as data, and then emotional intelligence. I do think that focus and prioritizing as well as examining feedback and data can be really difficult and challenging for the school leader, because I think that, especially in a smaller school, I'm kind of in a smaller district, I think that the building leader and the school leaders often get handed extra tasks, and they wear a lot of hats. They have a lot of things that they have to cover. So simply saying no isn't really something that they can do, or really simplifying things. Sure, they probably try to do it, but usually things come up throughout the day and they have to put out little fires and things like that. And then examining feedback and data, that one can be tricky, because I think feedback is one of those things it's hard to make everybody happy. And so if everybody feels like their voice isn't heard, or they're not happy with the way things are going, it's really hard to try to make everybody happy. Emotional intelligence, I do agree with, and I think that it's very important, because I think that if a leader is not emotionally intelligent, they won't be able to handle situations very well. They won't be very people-centered, and I think that that is extremely important for them to understand, not only when people are becoming frustrated, but when they are becoming frustrated, and how to handle that when they are feeling that frustration. Last but not least, Marshall's 8th principle of ethical leadership. I love that Lynch took this and put a school building leader spin on it. So I do agree with all of the 8 items that Marshall lists here. One thing that really stood out to me is that schools are uniquely charged with not only affecting the people who walk through their doors every day, but also the transitory nature of the population. So I think that schools, especially in small communities and small towns, are kind of the lifeblood. They're where everything starts. They're a gathering place. And a lot of people definitely have opinions on the way that schools should be run. So I think that building leaders have a very unique role when it comes to ensuring that all voices are heard, especially with ethical issues. So personal critique for myself. With mindsets, I do think that I'm very good. I'm naturally very optimistic, but I can get bogged down when I'm really stressed out. I generally try to be creative when things don't go my way, and I try to make lemonade out of very sour lemons. Dispositions, I'm very people-centered. I want to make sure that people feel good and that they feel taken care of. I do struggle with taking risks, and at times I do struggle a little bit with confidence and knowing that I made the right decision. But I'm always willing to learn and grow and to be human in front of others. That's one thing that I really practice in my classroom, is that I just want to be human in front of my students, and I want them to understand that I am not a perfect person and that I make mistakes. For practices, I'm very understanding and empathetic. I do struggle with examining data and prioritizing. I often feel that when I feel like things are important, or when I have a lot on my plate, it's hard for me to prioritize what needs to happen first. For the principles of ethical leadership, I am centered around tasks and the success of those around me. I encourage inclusiveness and sharing of talents, especially within the classroom. I focus on teaching self-discipline, integrity, and maintaining high standards, but I do struggle with personal courage. I'm the kind of person that if I could please everyone, I would definitely do it. Building leaders and success of all. So ultimately, a good building leader must have high expectations for all, encourage growth and learning from all, including self, be sensitive and understanding, yet assertive and self-disciplined, be people-centered with a good sense of humor, focused on understanding data and feedback to encourage optimum school growth, be confident in their abilities and choices, yet humble and honest when they make a mistake. I feel like that one is very challenging for everyone. Be approachable, optimistic, and considerate of all. So my correlation, relevance, reflection throughout this entire assignment. This assignment demonstrates a correlation of standard NS number 2.1, because as a future school leader, it's extremely important that I not only read and understand the research behind what makes a building leader successful, but also to reflect on my current strengths and challenges as a future school leader and model what being a successful school leader means. I cannot encourage others to grow and develop their skills if I refuse to grow and develop my skills as well. This assignment is relevant to my current learning because as a future school leader, I must continue to read, research, and understand what my personal strengths and challenges are to be the most effective and successful school leader possible. As I reflect on my current strengths and challenges as a future school leader, I know that I'm capable of being a great leader, but I still have much to understand, learn, and develop in order to be the best version of myself. Reflection is always key to success when things either go well or don't go as planned. Here are my references. Thank you guys very much. I look forward to learning from all of you, and sorry that this video is a little bit long, but I guess I'm a little bit long-winded. So take care. Bye-bye.